college and majored in criminal justice. I had the opportunity to community college and majored in criminal justice and was hired by Maricopa County Sheriff's Department. I worked there for 2 years and decided I wanted to return home and work in my community where I grew up in. I was hired at Quartzsite and worked there for a number of years. And after 12 years, I went to the Colorado Indian Tribes and worked there for 4.5 years. During my stint there, I rose to the rank of chief, remained there for 2.5 years as a chief, and the position of chief came open at Quartzsite. At that time, I applied and was selected as chief and have been there for the last 4 years. I believe that my 6 years as chief of police and my over 20 years of law enforcement have prepared me for the position of sheriff. This is why I'm currently running for this position. Based on my prior experience and service, I believe that I am the candidate that should be selected. In 2017, I had the opportunity to attend the FBI National Academy. I graduated with honors, obtaining my yellow brick, and in 2019, I received my FBI Trilogy Leadership Award for training and excellence. You know the reason why I believe I'm qualified. But I also like to state that I see a lot of issues in the current Sheriff's Department with the leadership. The leadership is not providing the services to the people and the communities they serve. And that's an issue for me. It's a systemic problem in the organization. And I believe I can change those issues. And we can work together to create a better Sheriff's Department and a better organization for our people that we serve. As my current position as Chief of Police for the town of Quartzsite, I do all those same things. I provide excellent service. I'm dedicated to the people. And you can see that. You can ask anybody that is in that community how they feel about our police department. We have an excellent police department. We provide great service to the people, and we're dedicated to the community. And I will continue that type of service when I become the Sheriff of La Paz County. So I ask you folks to ask yourselves, do you want to continue with the same regime that is in there now and the lack of service that you guys are receiving? So please think on that, ponder on that. If you want to continue in the same fashion, then you can elect the individual that's already in there. But if you would like to have stronger leadership, better structure, professional officers that are dedicated to duty and service, then elect me for your next sheriff. My name is Will Ponce, and thank you for your time.
I'm going to be reading from notes. We got 15 minutes, is that correct? I got a lot to say in a short time to get there.
Hold the mic up closer.
All right, is that better?
Hold it straight out.
Like this? 15 years ago, I moved to La Paz County, and I was stunned by what people were putting up with here. And when I decided to say something about it, I was immediately targeted, harassed, arrested, dragged through the court system here. And I'm the only candidate running that has been arrested more than anyone in this county with no convictions. People say I don't know the law or law enforcement. Let me say, if that was true, why do I beat them all the time where it matters most, in a court of law? We have a lot of problems here in La Paz County. Drug abuse and theft are big problems. The bigger problem is government run amok. And if you try to talk about these problems to our elected leaders, they sometimes ignore you and treat you like garbage unless you're friends of theirs. And I will change that. Who am I and how can I help you? I am an entrepreneur. I am a problem solver. I am a patriot. I am a leader. And I believe in the Founding Fathers' documents and their intent. I have started, built, and even sold businesses. Right now I'm in the gemstone trade. I buy, sell, trade anything mineral related. And I'm also into mining minerals. My wife digs through my rock pile and makes beautiful jewelry out of stuff that people wouldn't even give a second look at in its raw form. Both of us are able to see beauty where others don't. I believe La Paz County has a beautiful future ahead of itself if we just dump the good old boy club and do the right things. I'm a registered independent. You will not see me on the ballot this August. You will vote for me in November. My platform is all about following the Constitution, as it is the highest law in the land. And if anybody would like a free pocket Constitution, I have some back there. They're absolutely free. I think people need a refresher course. My department will not follow or enforce unconstitutional laws. This will free up the sheriff's office and the courts to focus on real crimes with real victims. Some people said Donald Trump couldn't win because he had no experience in politics. He wasn't familiar with how things were done, and they attacked his style. I believe the professional know-it-alls with all the certifications and titles are doing it wrong, and the proof is all around us. Some people say I don't have any experience to be a sheriff. Nothing could be further from the truth, because as an outsider, I have held bad law enforcement officers' feet to the fire for over 15 years as an outsider. Also, La Paz County keeps electing certified law enforcement every 4 years, and nothing improves. I think it's time for outside-the-box thinking. Elect me, someone whose goal is justice. Here's what I intend to do immediately or within the first 100 days of being on the job. First off, I will release a video every week of what's going on in your sheriff's office. I'll put it on a website for everyone to review or watch. Communication is the key, and nobody knows what's going on in these departments countywide. This will bring transparency and more trust to the government. I will also videotape all of the board of supervisor meetings and share it on the same website and make it so people can comment there too. Secondly, I will install a suggestion box outside the front door of the sheriff's office so people can contribute ideas. I will also have an online suggestion box, and I will read these suggestions on the weekly video update. Third, I will install and promote a crime tip hotline where people can leave anonymous tips about criminal activity in your neighborhood. You can leave your contact info for us to follow up with you, or you can remain anonymous if you want to. Fourth, and this is big, guns. Red flag gun laws are coming. If you guys don't know what red flag gun laws are, I suggest you research them immediately. They are a violation of your Fourth Amendment right, and just another way for government to disarm the public. Also, every 2 weeks, I will have a gunsmith available to look at your guns to make sure they are in tip-top shape, free of charge. All you gotta do is come into the sheriff's office, bring your guns, and we'll get you all set up. Also, we're gonna start a gun training program for kids and adults, and even a high school shooting team if there's interest in it. I will work with Kenny Looper, the only hunter safety instructor in the area. Right now, he's been working with Holly Irwin on a shooting range in Ehrenberg that will draw from California and Arizona. This will be a moneymaker for the county. The land is already set aside. Fencing has been donated. The farmers have agreed to help volunteer with equipment and their time. And CRIT has agreed to already donate 200 yards of concrete to build this out. There's also money available from national organizations to support this once we get it going. We'll be able to attract national shoots too. Again, this will all bring money to the county. Once elected, I'm going to make this a priority for kids and adults, both to have and enjoy, and of course the county will get some revenue, which they really need. The fifth thing I want to do immediately is deputize volunteers to help with the sheriff's office. We need more citizen involvement. The county is so spread out, it's impossible for us to be everywhere. When seconds count, cops are minutes away, and out here, it's 30 minutes or more at times. I've heard horror stories. Friends have gone through trainings in Las Vegas and Phoenix. We can look to see if it's something we can do out here, or maybe we could do something a little bit different. Number 6, and this is not within 100 days, this is immediately, my department will not enforce unconstitutional laws. An example is civil asset forfeiture. Please look that up. If you don't know what it is, it's unconstitutional, and it will end on day 1 when I'm elected. It's nothing more than legalized theft by law enforcement. The sheriff's office and QPD run interdiction on the freeway looking for money they can take without due process. It's looked upon as free money, and it's really someone's hard-earned money. Now, of course, if we find a semi-load of drugs and money, that's a different story. That's obviously cartel, and we need to stop that. But individuals with a few $1,000s will be able to freely travel through our county without fear of getting it confiscated and having to deal with the courts to get this back, and it happens every day, folks. Number 7, speaking of drugs, does anybody know about the schedulization of drugs in America? There's different levels for drugs. I think there's 5, maybe 7. I don't know how many levels. 5. So, Schedule 1 is the worst level of drugs there is. It has no medical benefit whatsoever, Schedule 1. Schedule 2 includes drugs like methamphetamine and PCP and cocaine. Schedule 2 drugs are a lesser crime charge than Schedule 1. Do you guys know what is in Schedule 1? Cannabis. Okay, people caught with a little bit of cannabis are in prison right now. I've been in jail with people. Proud to say that I've seen this happen personally. Kids with a little bit of cannabis facing a felony, and that is originally intended for drugs with no medical benefit. And I can show you 100 videos of people with stage 4 cancer told to go home and die, take care of your affairs. There's nothing we can do. They sew them up, whatever. And the only thing that saves them is cannabis oil. So on day 1, there will be no more small felon possession cannabis charges anymore. All it does is clog up the courts, waste time, waste money. It keeps the courts busy, it keeps the attorneys busy, and it also keeps the private prison industrial complex in business. Number 8, we will no longer be patrolling the interstate. That's the state's domain. We will, of course, provide backup and respond to emergencies like always, but the majority of our officers' time will be in the neighborhoods. If people pay taxes to fund the sheriff's office, and it's only right that they spend as much time in the neighborhoods taking care of problems instead of out on the freeway revenuing. Number 9, I will help the parents of homeschool kids. Right now, there is discussion to mandate masks for kids as young as 5 years old. So naturally, there's going to be a growth in the number of parents who are going to decide to homeschool. I want to help them with suggestions on curriculum and other things. I view homeschooling as long-term positive as long as they're getting their classes in. Number 10, and again, this isn't in the first 100 days, but it is important. In my 4th year, I will work for donations and donate my salary to the community in the areas that need help. I personally would like to start community gardens throughout the entire county. One part of security is food security. And we are in a dangerous situation out here if there's any interruption in traffic. Any interruption. The average food product in your grocery stores comes from 1,500 miles. We need to get our food more local. And there's another benefit to this too. We'll all be healthier and it will be cheaper too. My campaign even comes with several guarantees. I guarantee I will be the most frugal sheriff in La Paz County history. There will be a war on waste and inefficient programs. There will be no sacred cows. Everything will be looked at. I guarantee I'll be the most transparent sheriff. I'm even going to give, as I said, weekly videotaped updates of what your sheriff's office did during the week. I will absolutely guarantee your gun rights. Red flag laws are coming. Our governor has already flip-flopped a couple times on these red flag gun laws. We don't know what he's going to do next. Your due process rights will be honored with me. And I guarantee, too, I will honor my oath and not abuse my office for political or monetary gain. I personally believe if you raise your right hand and swear to God and the people to honor an oath, and you don't, everything else you do doesn't mean anything. To learn more about me and my platform, go to rothforsheriff.com. I'll be adding more content soon. Also go to Roth for Sheriff on Facebook. If you want to talk to me out here, please do. And I just want to end this with a quote, and then I'll let you go. And the title of this quote is, "Here's to the crazy ones." Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes. They're not fond of rules and they have no respect for status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Thank you. I'm Mike Roth, and I want to be your next sheriff.
Good evening. My name is Frank Green, and I'm a Republican candidate for the position of Sheriff of Ponce County. I'm retired military.